Okay, let's just dive right in. We're all surrounded by a constant flood of information, especially in the business world. But let's be honest, how much of what you read do you really absorb and actually use? In this explainer, we're going to break down a super powerful system for reading that helps you get the maximum value out of pretty much any text, saving you time and seriously boosting your understanding.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You spend hours reading a business book or some important report. You feel super productive while you're doing it, but then a week goes by and poof, the key insights are just fuzzy. You have this vague sense of what it was about, but you can't quite put your finger on the core message. It's a really common frustration, but here's the thing. It's not a memory problem. It's a process problem.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with a really crucial mindset shift. Then we'll jump into two super practical techniques, the 15-minute survey and how to hunt down that core message. We'll wrap it all up with a toolkit you can start using immediately and a quick recap. Sound good? Let's do it.
All right, this first idea is maybe the most important one of all. It's about completely reframing how you even think about reading. It's not something that just happens to you, it's something you do.
I mean, think back to school. We were pretty much taught to see reading as this quiet, passive thing. The author writes, we read. It's a one-way street where our job is just to be a bucket for all the words. But that exact approach is why we forget so much of what we read.
The truth is, the most effective reading is a dynamic, two-way conversation. It's a skill, just like learning a new piece of software or nailing a sales pitch. It takes energy, it takes focus, and you need a strategy. And, just like any other skill, the more you practice it with intention, the better you're going to get.
And I love this analogy because it just paints the perfect picture. Think about it. The writer is the pitcher, throwing ideas your way. A passive reader kind of just lets the ball fly by. But an active reader? Oh, they're like a catcher. They're alert, they're focused, they're anticipating the pitch, and they are skillfully catching what's being thrown. Your job isn't to just sit back. It's to get in the game and actively receive the communication.
Okay, so you've got the active mindset. Let's get into our first practical tool. As a busy professional, your time is your most valuable currency. This technique makes sure you invest it wisely.
Don't just crack open a book to page 1 and start reading blind. I mean, you wouldn't start a road trip without at least glancing at a map, would you? Surveying a book is your map. In just 15 minutes, you can get the lay of the land, understand its structure, figure out its main arguments, and this is key, decide if it's even worth your time to begin with.
Now check out how simple and powerful this is. First, that little blurb on the jacket, that's not just marketing fluff. A lot of the time, it's the author's own elevator pitch. Next, the table of contents. That's the architectural blueprint for the entire argument. It shows you how it's all built. Third, scan the index. Look for the words that have the most page numbers next to them. That's a huge clue to what the author thinks is most important. And finally, read the introduction and the conclusion. This is where authors literally tell you what they're going to tell you and then what they just told you. After just 15 minutes of this, you'll know more about the book's core message than most people who read it passively cover to cover.
Okay, so you've done your survey, you've decided this book is worth the investment. Now your primary mission as an active reader really begins. Your goal is to find that one central pillar that holds the entire thing up.
We call this the book's unity. Now, it might sound a little academic, but all it means is the single big picture message the author is trying to get across. In a well-written book, every chapter, every story, every piece of data should all be working to support this one central point. And your job is to dig it up.
So how do you do that? Well, here's the test. Try to summarize the book's entire big idea in just one powerful sentence. Or, okay, maybe a short paragraph at most. If you find yourself rambling on, you probably haven't quite nailed the core idea yet. The key is to be ruthless in how concise you are. Zero in on the author's most important key words and pay attention to how they build their case around them.
All right, theory's great, but it's the execution that gets results. So let's boil all this down into a simple, actionable toolkit that you can start using with the very next thing you read.
First off, from now on, make the 15-minute survey a non-negotiable habit. Before you commit hours of your life, just commit a few minutes to know what you're getting into. This step alone is going to save you from wasting so much time on stuff that isn't even relevant to your goals.
Second, you've got to turn your reading into an active investigation. With every chapter, with every page, keep this one question right at the front of your mind. What's the main point here? How does this piece connect back to the big idea? This keeps you engaged and focused on what really matters.
And finally, to really make the knowledge stick, take 2 minutes after you finish and actually articulate the book's unity. Write it down.
This simple act of summarizing forces you to get clear in your own head, and it dramatically improves your long-term memory of it.
So, we have covered a lot of ground pretty quickly here. Let's just lock it all in with a quick recap of the 3 huge shifts that will totally transform the way you read.
So here they are, your key takeaways. Number 1, be an active catcher. Reading is a sport, so get in the game. Number 2, survey before you commit. That 15 minutes up front will save you hours later. And number 3, always be hunting for the core message. That's the real prize you're looking for as a reader.
See, at the end of the day, mastering the flow of information is like having a superpower in today's business world. Being able to quickly absorb, understand, and then apply powerful ideas is what really separates the good from the great. It's all about taking knowledge and turning it into action.
And speaking of taking action, if you want to apply this kind of strategic thinking to find more clients and really move your business forward, you can book a free call with CT Marketing. Just use the link right below.